Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program is rated for all audiences.
Four Guys on Sports is sponsored by CrookedRiverRadio.com. Crooked River Radio is an internet radio station that is live 24/7 playing top 40 hits from the 60s through the 80s. You can find us on Live 365, Simple Radio, Roku, Radio Garden, and even Alexa, as well as our website. Come on and join us on the Crooked River.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Grab yourself a cup of coffee here, and let's talk about some sports.
Yeah. Yep. Coffee and sports and water and sports for me.
This morning we got Shawn and Gordon over there, as everybody will be able to see here in a minute. And we also have Mr. Eric Nannerone. Good evening or morning, Eric.
Good morning. For Nate this week.
Nate's on a honeydew mission. And you all can tell him I said that. But we got quite a bit to talk about today. There is a little bit of Browns news. There's quite a bit about Michigan. Even though I don't really want to talk about them, but we will. And
we can talk about the new D coordinator for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, that was a long time coming. I think he's going to do pretty well. And we can also talk about some the Cavs and that, some
the
basketball.
Cavs are hot this year so far.
So we'll see what we get through. And well, good morning, Gordon. You're awful quiet down there.
Man, it's good to be here. I was letting you tune up and go through all the formalities. But we can jump right in. First off, I want to say this: what a sad thing with Thomas, Demarius Thomas.
Demarius Thomas, the former Bronco.
Passing away.
Yeah, I heard about that.
33 years old.
33 years old.
They say it was a seizure.
Yeah, and I think the history behind that was he suffered a car accident, I think, a while back, and that brought on the seizures, and they became more and more intense and more frequent. So he did move family in with him, and then of course them finding him in the shower, and just thinking about his 4 years with when Peyton Manning was there in Denver.
Yep.
Man, that cat was something else.
Well, it just goes to show you, when it's your time, there ain't nothing going to hold you here.
That is true. That is true.
I come to that realization quite a few years ago.
Oh yeah. So we make our mark. Being not only being good at what you do or whatever you do, the best thing that people can say about you is the type of person you were while you were here, the impact, and the things you did in life while you were here. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that because that was pretty sad.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, man, there's so many things to talk about. And one of the things that really got me the most was the Thursday night game.
Gordon.
And I didn't watch the whole game because the Steelers were beating the brakes off the Steelers. Yeah. I think it was 23-24-0 when I went to bed. They looked like they were going to score on them.
They actually tried to come back. But you know what the Vikings said to that?
Tell us what they said, Pat.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Pittsburgh! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks! Pittsburgh sucks!
I got that out of the way.
What's up with the little delay there, Pat? You should have had that queued right up.
Well, as we were talking, I was getting there, but I didn't have the mouse right over it.
Oh.
So that won't be in the replay.
So
Okay.
The Steelers tried to actually come back in the end of the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
but the Vikings held them off, and that was the end of that.
yeah,
They were getting a butt beaten in the beginning of that game. I think it was 20 something to nothing. I tuned in about halfway through the first half, and it was 24-0.
yeah.
And they just didn't look like they even wanted to be there.
They really didn't, and they were bludgeoning the Statue of Liberty, aka Big Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, Pittsburgh didn't look like they wanted to play. So again, I quit watching. It's like that's not even entertaining now. And to wake up to checking sports updates in the morning and wake up to that, I was like, what?
Well, we actually had some upsets last weekend too. You had I'm trying to think who in this division got beat. Wasn't it?
Yeah, Bengals got beat by the Chargers.
And didn't Baltimore get beat?
Yeah, by the Steelers.
Oh, that's right. They got beat barely by the Steelers.
And yeah, I didn't see that one coming. And I think I kind of saw the Cincinnati one coming. I felt like that was it.
The other upset, and I was yoo-hooing that, was that flipping Buffalo or that Patriots at Buffalo.
Yeah.
They got didn't Buffalo win that game?
No.
Nope.
Oh, I thought
They got blown out, I think.
I don't think they got blown out. I think
it was 20 to. Let me see what this final is on that. 'Cause I just looked at it.
yeah, that just puts more fire in that Butthead's head.
14 to 10.
And it would, what did he throw? Like one pass, or completed one pass?
Yeah, because it was so damn windy. That was a heck of a game. The wind controlled that game.
And the thing of it was I was going back and forth. Well, you probably saw some of the back and forth Nate and I did.
Yeah.
And what a great quarterback Matt Jones is. And he said, yeah, because he's so smart. I'm like, no, that was Belichick there.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. If Stefanski played that game, or if he had that game and played like that, there wouldn't be a voice quiet in Ohio. Because that run up the gut, run every time offense that they were running was just absolutely excellent. You know, they took it to them. And, you know, that to me was probably one of the high points of that game. It was just the fact that it was all a ground game because they couldn't throw it because of the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I love games like that. Between that and snow, the snow games are the most fun ones for me to watch anyway.
Yep. Some good games, though, you know, otherwise. And look at the Lions actually won last week, too.
Man.
Barely.
They played Chicago, didn't they?
No, they played the Vikings.
Oh, they played the Vikes. I was just... It was bound to happen sooner or later. They weren't going to go 0-8 or 0-16 like some other team that I knew.
I was going to say, hey, we know of a team that did that.
You've got 2 or 3 teams in this league now that are probably, they're bottom feeders anyway, between Detroit and that flipping Jacksonville. What's Jacksonville's record now?
Let me find out. Hold on a second.
I don't think they
won
won.
In, I think, 12.
Yeah, 2-10.
2-10. Wow.
Man, they're ahead of Detroit.
Yeah, they'll be the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Man, it just
Yeah, Detroit's 10-1.
Wow. So they actually, yeah, because that one tie.
They're half a game ahead of. They're half a game ahead of nothing.
Wow, we almost we were that close to being right on that one. And, yeah, folks were laughing at me. I was like, I think this is going to be that game for them. And of course, Pittsburgh has been. I don't know. Anyway,
Hell, I've seen some interviews with some of the players from Pittsburgh, and they that Ben situation. He's already told them, from what I understand, he's told some of the players and some past associates that he wasn't going to be there next year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, did you see they asked him after the game about Claypool and how do you police that? How do you stop him? He's like, that ain't my job. That's Coach Tomlin's job. I don't coach the team. I don't do anything. It's not my job to keep my teammates under control. Usually the quarterback tries to do that, though.
now, supposedly that should. Well, crap. Sorry about that. Anybody watching? Let me turn the camera off here.
well, that happens, but wasn't it him that kind of got into it with Antonio Bryant, trying to corral Antonio Bryant? And I guess he got burned on that one. So my thought is, he's okay. I'm done with that.
And I think that attitude is just following through with him all the way through the rest of the team too. I think he's just done with them. I think he's figuring he's just going to get out of there after this year and be done.
They just don't have a quarterback to replace him, and unfortunately, they're not going to. Well, for them, they're not going to tank the season, so they're not going to get a good quarterback. Plus, this draft class of quarterbacks ain't really looking that pretty.
Now, you haven't got a draft class for quarterbacks coming this year, but I think there's one in they're saying another year should be pretty decent as far
Yeah,
as
because that's the year's C.J. Stroud comes out.
yeah. And he was just he had gotten a couple of awards just over the past week that I heard of.
Oh yeah.
He ended up going to New York, was it?
Yeah.
That's a free trip there. Not too bad.
Did anybody hear the rumor about Ryan Day going to Chicago?
No.
That
I
would be
guess-
interesting.
Yeah, for him to team up with Justin Fields.
Oh, as far as him going to the NFL, I don't. Would be almost as much as Urban going there. He ain't gonna do nothing when he gets there.
Most college coaches don't.
I got a lot of confidence in that. Their college coaching's a whole lot different than it is for.
Well, maybe not. I think Day could relate to the players a little more than with Urban being older. I don't think.
I think I don't think it's
players.
an issue of relating to the players. I think it's the schemes between college and the NFL are completely different. And
I mean, Carolina's not that bad. Their head coach came from Baylor,
Yeah.
so I mean they did fire their offensive coordinator last week, which I don't understand because they're only 2 games under 500. But
Yeah, that was.
there had to be
Joe Brady,
backstory
the
on it.
offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator for Burrow in LSU.
the question would be if Day decides to leave, what are they going to replace him with?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind bringing Luke Fickell back.
Maybe we can bring
He's-
one of the Harbaughs here.
Yeah, Luke Fickell wouldn't be bad. I think he's proved himself well at Cincinnati.
Oh man.
What would you guys say with bringing Harbaugh over here, or bringing the Ravens Harbaugh over here?
Yeah. Oh man. But
I don't think Ravens Harbaugh would ever do it.
That'd be real tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's conjecture.
Yeah. We don't want to. Well, I don't even want to think about the Ratbird coach. Ratbird coach. Yeah.
I did watch that Michigan game last week, about half of it anyway.
Yeah.
I was too disheartened. You know what really got me? I was watching. I usually watch that Colbert on CBS on weeknights, and he had this guy on there. I don't remember what the heck his name was, but he was a comedian, and he's won a couple of Tony. He won a Tony Award and was bragging about that. And he says, you know what made my weekend last week? He says, I not only won that Tony Award, but Michigan won! I'm like, oh, God, turn it off. And he was going off on how Michigan hadn't won against Ohio State in 8 years, which is more like 10, and or at least 8 years, which is more like 10, and how it just made his night, and how they're going to go all the way, and blah, 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 blah. That's what you get when you're an Ohio fan.
Well,
it's all going to hit the fans sooner or later.
Though. If they do, it still says a lot about the Big Ten. If they were to go on and win it all, and I don't know if they.
I'm going to tell you
I don't think they have a shot at winning it all. Alabama's just too good.
Yeah, I think Alabama's going to beat them if they make it that far. And I'll tell you what made the difference for that team was the fact that his brother, both those Harbaughs are brothers, right?
Yes.
All right, his brother gave him an offensive or a coordinator, a D coordinator from Baltimore. They pretty much gave him the guy, and that's when everything pretty much turned around defensively. And the guy, you got to give the guy some credit, but still, that's what changed.
Coordinators, Ohio State just hired a new one.
Jim Knowles
who he's the current unit he's coaching is the third-ranked defense in the whole country. So I think he has a great shot at turning this defense around quickly. Plus, I just saw yesterday that he's not going to be coaching Oklahoma State in their bowl game. He's going to be focusing on Ohio State right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
what do you think of the
this game though for the Buckeyes though?
I know, but he can put in more film study, and he'll probably be at the game though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's now the highest paid Ohio State Buckeye assistant ever.
And you know what? Again, what did I say at the beginning of the season about them? I know, go back again. It's not I told you so, but I kept harping on that defense, and I guess it was overlooked. It was getting overlooked because the offense was so good. And even in that loss, which my brother is not here to debate with me, because was the offense perfect? No. But the offense still played a good game. It's just that their defense wasn't really good. And when you play against a better defense, it's tougher on your offense, because he's still on what's his name, Stroud, the quarterback, the Buckeyes quarterback, Stroud. And I'm saying, this guy here, this kid is the real deal.
Yeah.
He is the real deal. I watched him against a good defense, and he's the real deal. Mm-hmm. And I think this kid's coming back next year. Wow.
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty awesome. We'll see what the defense does. They shore up that defense.
I think if you,
Buckeye.
as far as the Buckeyes go, since Stroud's got his first year under his belt, there couldn't be anything but improvement there.
Well, you only hope, because his accuracy at some points was really bad.
Well, that was a learning curve, Eric.
Yeah, and I agree, but that was early on. As it went on, he looked good.
Okay, there's a learning curve, but also he's gonna have he's gonna have Smith and Jigma, but his two top receivers are going to the NFL. You know, he's gonna have that chemistry issue starting next year with the other guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be Fleming, Ibuka. Is the other two guys I think are going to be your next starters.
What do you think of
also
that?
got Harrison Jr. too.
Texas here too. Caleb Burton is his name. Watch out for that guy.
I think he's going to be all right. I think that offense, depending on what how their run game does, I think Ohio State's offense is going to be high potent again, and I'm just hoping that they really shore up the defense, because I kept looking at it and I was watching some of the teams that they played, and I'm like, and the thing that I argued with Nate on was that it's easier to play defense a lot of times when you're ahead and that other team is pressing and they are just trying to throw the ball. You can kind of dictate, and you can take chances and go after them. Whereas when teams come in and it's a tight game, it's a little bit different game.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, just think if what's his name didn't go to Bama, in the transfer portal, how deep that wide receiver core would have been.
Oh, Williams, I think his name is.
Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Man. But he went there and he's their number one receiver.
The big question is, what's Alabama doing having him on special teams? Because I know he got thrown out in the Auburn game for targeting. Why do you have your best player on special teams?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes you're pressed to win. You have guys that are, and that's commonplace to see maybe a receiver or someone back to return punts, or if they're just that good. I mean, because you look for that big play every,
But as a gunner, not as a returner. He was a gunner, as like.
Well, if you remember, not Tressel, but Urban always had players, offensive players playing on the special teams too.
Were they the number, like the starters, or were they like backups? Okay. But I just don't know about putting your number one guy out there that could have really cost the team. It didn't, I know, hindsight, but I think that was a mistake. But anyway, whatever. Hindsight.
Now, moving along, after the Michigan Georgia game, and I was, I was thinking that maybe Georgia would have won that. Right. So now what are we looking like? We're going to see, both of them in the playoffs now.
Yeah, I think Georgia kind of threw that game. I have a feeling for that one. You don't go into that game like they did with their defense and they were just give up like that easy.
And that's all they rant and rave about all year is Georgia's defense.
Yeah.
and
they just look poor.
Yeah, they
Like, what the heck? Go from average giving up only 7 points a game, and then
Well, without getting into the crux of it, you have to wonder about some of the stuff with this online gambling and that. You know, this stuff really kind of scares me as far as what's involved in. They're talking about allowing Ohio to have the online gambling and all that stuff. And if your referees and that get into that, I think what they ought to do, if they're going to allow the online gambling, is in most of these places, if you're an NFL or an official for a game, if you play a game or anything like that, it should be against the law for you to do it.
I agree with that, and there, I don't know if there is, maybe there is some type of
because you take what Pete Rose did. He was actually betting on himself to win or lose a game, and then he'd go in there. And this is the same temperament or the same theory that you have with anybody in any sport. If you're allowed to bet on yourself and you think, I don't feel like playing today, I think I'll just put $20 on the other team and I'll just take my time. That is so wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how you would regulate that or how you stop that. But because there will be ways around it, just, even if it was someone else placing that bet. But man, that's I don't know how you regulate that. And
there's some interesting stuff as far as that's concerned. We won't go into it in this program because we're just here for the sports. The other thing I wanted to bring up about the NFL, and it seems like it's rearing its ugly head again, and that is, what about this COVID stuff, the way it's affecting these teams again? I know Cleveland right now has 3 people, including their punter, out for the Ravens game, and they're key people. You've got Njoku, you've got the punter, that Scottish Hammer, and there's one other player. I think he was a corner.
Yeah, one corner got injured or got a concussion.
Yeah,
there's
Newsom.
Newsom's who I'm thinking of.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't think. Oh, Anthony Walker, the linebacker.
Yeah, Walker, that was it. But you got 3 people in COVID now, and you got to wonder if these 3 are vaccinated or not, and if they are, why are they getting it? It's easy to say, oh, we just won't play them, whatever, but you're killing the team. You're killing the continuity in the team. And you let them play, though. If they play sick, they're going to give it to everybody else, and the next thing you know, you're going to have the whole league down with it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I think, and when you talk about that, of course, Cowboys they've been one of the teams that's been probably the most hard hit with this, and clearly,
I think at one point it was 13 players and coaches.
Yeah, and clearly it was Amari Cooper, who is unvaccinated. He was one of them, and
the one actually kind of good thing that came out of this is the Browns had to take and go get another kicker, and they got that Colquitt. He's and that I can see him being better one.
He's better than his brother who was here a few years ago.
I can see him actually being better than the current punter.
Oh, he is.
So that may be maybe you keep him for a year, put him up against the Scottish Hammer and see what happens with it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, well, will remain to be seen. But I thought that was a pretty good move on Cleveland's part.
Yeah.
Last thing, but not least thing I want to say about the Ohio teams anyway. What do you think of this new Akron U coach?
Oh, Joe Moorhead.
Yeah, Moorhead.
He was old offensive coordinator from Oregon.
I think that's probably.
Good hire.
I think that's probably going to be one of the best ones they've ever had.
From Oregon.
I didn't have an issue with Arth. Like, I think they kind of gave him the short end of the stick because of COVID. He lost his job, but they were limited in practice and stuff because of COVID one year, and I think he was hired in 2019. So he only had 2 out of 3 full off seasons to get the team ready. And Moorhead was actually with Akron for 4 years.
Yeah,
back in
another
04
role.
through 08.
He was in another role. I did hear that.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So maybe we got something to look forward to there. I know
Yeah.
Kent did fairly well this year. I've been kind of sort of following them. They actually played last week.
Talking about other sports in terms of Ohio sports, talk about them Cavaliers this year. They've been pretty strong so far.
Yeah. They've been disabling.
Oh, our buddy Urban Meyer is getting into really bad incidents with players now. According to Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, he got into it with Marvin Jones, and it was pretty bad within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but then
So we'll see
yeah,
who wins out there.
Most of the wins for the Cavaliers have been against top tier teams too.
That's exactly right. I was going to say that. They disassembled, what was it, Miami or somebody this last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it was Miami.
Washington.
They completely disassembled them. It was like 115 to 80 or 97. They played a heck of a game. I want to
That'll
see.
be interesting. See the Cavs versus the Lakers.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Now that you're gonna, of course, if you do that and you show it to LeBron, he's gonna want to come back.
Did you guys see that there's a rumor that the Cavs are in it for Damian Lillard?
There's been so many Damian Lillard rumors out there, and some of this stuff is just gets crazier all the time. I saw one the other day where they said Luka might be going to the Lakers because of he's upset with Jason Kidd, and then I saw one where Kristaps Porzingis for Kyrie Irving.
Who the hell would want Irving?
Ben Simmons for Lillard. It's like, but that's not gonna happen.
That'd be like trading. That Irving situation would be like trading for Love. You just don't know what you're going to get out of him, if anything.
Love's actually been playing pretty well as a bench player, though. So.
And that's exactly where they need to keep him.
He had what, 18 in last night's game? He had 18 points, 13 rebounds off the bench.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It helps win.
He's been solid in his role. He doesn't have to be one of the, knowing that he's not going in there as that second or third option on a nightly basis. So I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, because you got the NBA Rookie of the Month playing there now and stuff. That Mobley kid.
And I think
Mobley's not bad. I've been watching a little bit of him too.
I don't think they're gonna make much noise in the East, but they'll be fun to watch.
We probably ought to get to we will get to the NFL picks about a quarter of the hour. I got about another 5 minutes. I do want to get to that before we have to wrap things. We are under a little bit of a schedule today, so we're going to try to wrap things on time for anybody listening. I'm going to mention something here that I've done over the course of the last week, and that is I played with the Fire Stick, and I started seeing stuff about sports on there, and that's a pretty good place to go for. They have live NFL. They've got live feeds for a lot of stuff, and it's all free.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. We did that because of the first off, the cable network that in the city where I live wasn't good. Our options really weren't that good, and we just recently got fiber there. We've been using the old copper lines.
Yeah, that's where we're at here. They have fiber available, but it's a $200 install, and I'm not doing that. That's insane.
The Fire Stick, and because, like I say, the cable company, I won't even mention the name of it's horrible. It was horrible. The service was horrible. It was okay at first, but they had some issues they couldn't seem to get right. And then our service, when we call them out, we schedule appointment, they wouldn't show. We even had them say they showed, and there wasn't anyone there. And they were sitting out there on the porch. But anyway,
maybe they had the wrong address. It was the next call down.
Did anybody see Amazon is starting to get into the studio-based sports shows? They're in the midst of forming Sports Center type and other league based shows.
I've been wondering about what they're doing with the football games.
Speaking of that, they're trying to hire Peyton and Eli Manning so they can do Thursday night version of what they already do Monday night for ESPN.
I have yet to watch it. Do they run commercials and that in there?
I don't think so. I haven't watched a full broadcast.
If I saw like a Thursday night game coming up and it was the Browns and somebody else, I'm kind of thinking it would probably be a cool idea to actually watch it there. But the only thing that concerns me is the lag time on it. As it is, I got about a 10-second lag the way I look at this is I watch it through I watch the TV, but I play it through the FM radio. There's a couple FM stations that carry the feed here, and the lag times, most of the time they'll go through one play, and then you look down and you see the play on the TV. Kind of sad, but it is what it is. You'd think they'd find a way of syncing that up. But if there was a way you could pretty much sync it or something like that, that'd be a cool thing to do.
I don't know, but yeah, Pat, we are the whole Fire Stick thing. Like I say, my kids they were hipping us to that a while back, and I'm more and more into it now. And I just assume rather than it's usually less expensive anyway to stream anyway.
Taken and we're not endorsing or anything that they're not sponsors of Crooked River Radio or the show.
Right.
But there's some things that you can do with those Fire Sticks that make it a lot easier to watch. If you get a chance, there's this guy by the name of Troy Point, Troypoint. Got a lot of stuff on the Fire Stick. There's an app you can download that'll give you some more stuff for it, and it's apps that'll actually tune the Fire Stick. That's the one thing I did find. And if you're a sports enthusiast like me that likes to tune around and find stuff, that's probably going to be the way to go in the future.
Oh yeah.
I've thought about cutting the cord, as far as the TV, cable TV. I just can't bring myself to do it because I can't find my local shows and that on there.
Speaking of local shows and sports talk, did you see what local sports personality is retiring at the end of this month.
Yeah, I saw Bruce Drennan's going to be retired.
Yeah, is that who you're talking about, Eric?
Yep, exactly.
Hell, he's old. Hell,
Yeah.
he's about, what, close to 80 or 90. You gotta really admire some of these guys. Like old William Shatner. That's another one there. That guy is 90-some years old and he's flying into space. Only for 10 minutes, but he was up there. Yeah, I hope I'm that limber when I'm 90. I ain't going anywhere till I'm at least 100.
There you go.
They say that only the good die young. I ain't no good. I ain't going nowhere.
Well, I would say I think I'm gonna be around forever.
Yepper. Anyway, let's move her into the picks for the week. And where do we stand on these, Sean?
I'm going to have to get them caught up.
You ain't done them yet?
No, I haven't.
Jesus criminy, boy. What's up with you?
Count it up.
I told you 2 weeks ago I wanted to know where I stood. What are we going to do with him, Gordon? Slap him for me.
Hey, your boy, man. You better
shake him up for me. Yeah. Shake his chair or something. Sean, do you want me to send you a daily email to pester you? I can do that. I'm off now. I got plenty of time.
Been crazy.
So who do you think is ahead?
Well, Gordon's ahead.
Yeah, it figures.
I don't know how anymore, man, after some of the craziness that's gone on.
Last week was a bad week for you, Brad. So.
Yeah, I know.
I think you only had like five wins last week. So.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you had 5 wins. I had 8, and then Gordon and Nate had each 10 wins.
Oh, geez, so I'm bringing up the rear.
Hey, gee, boy, that rascal trying to catch me.
Yeah.
So you can just mark me down. Anything Gordon it says yes on, you can go ahead and just mark me for it too. I got to catch up somehow.
You know, part of that is, I guess they would say, as people say, just luck.
All right. Well, I am
not
and this Gordon, this Gordon is why I don't bet pools.
I hear you. I hear you. Me either. But you know, hey, I'm a fan, so expert I'm not.
I used to do.
Right, well, let's get to these picks then. We're going to start off with Baltimore at Cleveland.
Oh my!
How
Baltimore?
Let me ask that question. How healthy are they? And I wonder.
Yeah, they're coming off a bye. So.
And they're coming off of a bye.
Yeah, we're coming off of a bye. Baker looks like he's healed a little bit. But I'm just, with this COVID crap, I don't know what the... I'm going to almost have to take Baltimore. I really hate to do that.
Baker is just Johnny Manziel without the drug addiction or the alcohol addiction. So, that's all I have to say. So, Ravens.
Okay. And I bet the Ravens are probably favored a little bit, but...
Let me look that up.
No, last time I saw the Browns were favored by 2.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Cleveland. They're coming off of a bye, and maybe they're angry enough to play.
And Baltimore is coming off of a loss, anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going with Cleveland on this one.
Yeah, the last week the Steelers stunk it up, or the last Thursday they stunk it up 36-28 Vikings. Let me see if I can find some predictions.
Baltimore always seems to have Cleveland's number too.
I hear you, but Cleveland gonna get the dub.
Gordon, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you here, buddy. Go ahead and put me down for Cleveland.
Okay.
And if Gordon is wrong, you can expect some dead flowers in the mail.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go Baltimore this time. Because they always seem to have Cleveland's number. All right, next game, Jacksonville at Tennessee.
This is what, week 15, isn't it? 14.
Week 14.
You know what? I don't know.
Which one are we talking about?
Jacksonville
at Tennessee.
Well,
Tennessee.
according to the stats, we have, looks like they're favoring the Titans by minus 8.5.
I'm going Titans too, but
They're minus 8.5. It's also 43.5 over under.
Okay.
I'll take the Titans. Titans they play good when they come against crap teams like that.
Okay. What about you, Eric?
Titans.
Titans. Okay. All right. Next is Raiders at Kansas City.
man, I'm going KC on that, and I just feel like KC's defense is playing different now, and of course, I'm gonna say this: KC's offense still isn't looking very good.
You know, I watched them the other night, and they really just didn't look like they were even there.
They don't. They're not looking that good, but their defense is looking better. Now I'm gonna say this though: when I think of that, and what's his name? Chris. What's his face? They got his
Houston.
Jones.
Jones. Yeah.
Chris Jones with KC. Man, he came alive all of a sudden. Like he woke up in the Dallas game, and he's been playing good football. But keep in mind, that's a quarterback that he can't run down. So I may wind up changing that. I'm just iffy. I'm gonna go ahead because they're playing in Kansas City. I'm gonna go with KC, but their offense doesn't look that good anymore. You know?
Even though this is a West Coast team, they're still going up against KC. KC is favored by 27-17, and they're a 9.5 point favor.
Yeah.
So I'll take KC.
And you know, they say that KC is a tough place to play. That noise, you have a hard that communication becomes a problem.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric? You going KC or
What? Who were they playing again?
the Raiders at KC?
Casey.
Okay. All right. Next game is a poor game here. I call it New Orleans at New York Jets.
New Orleans.
Yeah. Lee. Oh my God.
Actually, New Orleans is favored by 9 and
I'll go with New Orleans. You know, I guess that's one of the ones that let one rip and see which way the wind blows, man.
depends on what quarterback you get with both teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take New Orleans, I think.
Okay. Eric.
New Orleans.
Okay.
And going back to the Baltimore Browns game, on this particular site, they have the Ravens favored 20-19.
That's close.
The Ravens are plus 2.5.
All right. Next game is Dallas at Washington.
Yeah, that Dallas game, that's going to be interesting.
You know,
To say it least.
that Washington team is playing much. They're a better team than they were. I'm gonna go with Dallas.
Cowboys are favored by minus 4.5. Over under on it's 48.
We're They are a better team than they were before. And that's not, but I'm going with Dallas, and it's not only because I'm a Cowboys fan. But
Yeah, I'll take Dallas on that one.
Dallas.
Okay. Next game then is Atlanta at Carolina.
Hotlanta.
yes, sir, that's what I'm taking.
I'll take Hotlanta too.
Same.
Let's see what the stats call.
Yeah.
Green Bay.
I'm taking Carolina.
Atlanta's favored 30-27.
Mhm.
And that's a -2.5. I'll take. Or no, that ain't the right game. Sorry about that. Where is it?
All right, next game is you got it, Dad?
Go ahead.
Yeah, the next game is Seattle at Houston. We're going Seattle.
Going back for a second, the Atlanta Falcons are favored by 1 point. They're +2.5.
Seattle.
All right,
Yeah,
Seattle.
and I guess with Seattle, they have Mr. Russell been stinking it up.
Yeah,
too.
they won last week
Yeah.
against San Fran.
I'll take Seattle.
I'm finding the picks first.
That's going to be Cleveland's next quarterback, Russell.
All right,
And then
Seahawks
no.
they are actually favored 24-11. It's a -8.5. I'll take Seattle on that one.
But yeah, that'll be the next quarterback hit. Hated quarterback by Nate.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, Detroit at Denver.
Taking Denver.
I'm taking Denver on that one.
I put everybody down for Denver.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might get lucky. But that's another -10 for the Broncos. I'll take.
Pat, you what? So you were taking Detroit?
Oh no, I'll take the Broncos. No way, I'm taking Detroit.
All right, the next game then is.
I gotta catch you somehow.
Yeah, okay. The next game is Giants at Chargers. We're going Chargers.
Yes, sir.
West Coast team, Dad.
Chargers.
But the Giants, I'll take the Chargers. I'll probably regret doing that. What are you taking, Gordon?
Chargers.
Yeah, we'll take the Chargers then.
All right, and the next game is San Fran at the Bengals.
I'm taking San Fran.
San Fran.
Against who?
Bengals.
Another West Coast team. Give me San Francisco. Especially if Garoppolo's playing, which I'm pretty sure he is.
That and the fact I think they can. Everybody sees they can get to Joe Burrow now. They can't protect
Yeah,
him.
that's. I've said that for so long.
Gosh,
They're only favored by 3
he's a
points
heck
though.
of a quarterback.
Yeah, I know you guys are saying that. I'm going to go Cincinnati though, because it's playing
In Cincinnati.
in Cincinnati.
That's a -1.5 by to San Francisco.
All right, next game, Buffalo at Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
I don't know. Buffalo's going to be mad because they lost to New England. But is it going to be enough? Are they going to be ticked off enough to?
I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take Tampa Bay, too. And the over-under is it's a -3.5 for Tampa Bay.
If Nate was here, just for argument's sake, I would take Buffalo because that's the GOAT.
Yeah, all right, then Sunday night game is Chicago at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. No doubt.
And then the Monday night game is the Rams at Arizona.
Ooh, toss up, but Arizona.
Yeah, give me Arizona.
Yes. Yeah. I guess I'll take Arizona. That's going to be, I bet that winds up being a great game. I hope it. A good Monday night game. That's just weird.
All right.
I'm surprised they didn't.
Thursday night game is KC at the Chargers.
Chargers.
I don't know.
Yeah, I say the Chargers again, just because KC, they won't be at home, and their offense doesn't look good.
Who do they have Sunday? Who does JC have Sunday?
They have
KC has the Raiders playing.
Oh, that's going to be a tough game too. I'm going to have to take. What was it? The Chargers.
Yeah.
I'll take the Chargers. If they had an easier game, if they had like Chicago or something like that, I'd probably flip that. But I don't think KC is going to play 2 tough games in a row.
Okay. Well, that's the end of the picks.
Yeah, that's cool. And we're just about out of time.
Yeah.
But,
Well, in the time that we have left, I would just like to do what I do at the end of every show that I'm a part of and promo every other show on the station. And also say, if you guys get a chance, go back to this past Monday's episode of Hashtags in Football. There was a lot of information given on cryptocurrency. If you're interested in getting involved in it, I would definitely listen back to it, the Hashtags in Football from Monday, because again, you'll learn a lot about crypto and how it works. So there's that. But then tomorrow we have Radioactive from 7 to 9 p.m. Hashtags in Football Monday from 7 to 8, and 7 to 8 on Tuesday is World According to Elmer.
Yep, the schedule coming up for Christmas. This show will probably be on hiatus for Christmas and New Year's Day. You guys don't want to get together either one of those days, do you? Shawn, Gordon?
I don't know.
probably
Maybe New Year's Day?
maybe New Year's.
All right, we'll play it by ear, but Christmas is definitely out.
Yeah.
I'm pondering the idea of suspending the shows from Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve anyway.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. As far as Radioactive, we will be gone the day after Christmas. And as far as the World According to Elmer and Eric, are you wanting to do a show that week?
Yes, let's do a show that week.
Yeah, because we still got the Browns coming up for a couple of weeks yet. We're going to need to chew that up. Well,
Yeah.
as far as the Monday and Tuesday night shows, they'll still run. world according to Elmer, I don't think is going to be affected at all by the holidays. But we'll see what happens when it gets here. Also, if you're a listener to the station, as of the time I switch off of this podcast, Crooked River is going to be playing Christmas music for the next 20, or actually till the end of the weekend, probably midnight Sunday night. At which time it'll switch to a mix of Christmas music and regular tunes. I decided to do that just because I got to get something to get me in the Christmas spirit. So,
come on, Scrooge, get in the Christmas spirit.
Gordon, it's tough this year. It really is. I just spent pretty much almost 12 hours yesterday sorting out the Christmas music, because I had last year when we put that together, I found about 350 tunes, but none of it was indexed. None of it had the meta tags on it, and it was a mess. So I thought, well, this year before I even do that, well, I never realized how long that was going to take. I spent 12 hours sorting songs last night, getting stuff that wasn't supposed to be there out, and re-tagging it and everything. Well, it's all done now. The meta tags on those things are probably better than it's ever been. But we're going to play Christmas music for the next day or so. Then I'll go to a mix, and then probably the following Saturday, when I've had enough time to gather enough to actually go a week, we'll probably just go with regular Christmas music for the week before Christmas, starting on Saturday. It's trials and tribulations of what you do when you're a station owner like this. The things depend on me to survive a lot of times, and if I want something special, I got to create it. Makes it interesting. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap her up for the week. And we've all got appointments and everything else we got to go to. I'm going to be at lunch in an hour. So.
Alrighty.
I will turn it over to you guys to wrap it. What's that? Go ahead, Eric.
Check the show chat that we have for Radioactive. Dale just sent something for tomorrow. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I just heard it ding. So I must have got notified of it.
Alright.
Yeah. All right, we will see everybody next week. Okay. And y'all have a beautiful week. Get a lot of Christmas shopping done. Get your send your relatives Christmas presents and get them all in the mail. And
well, I got an idea already. So.
Yeah. We'll worry about that later. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next week. And by the way, thanks, Eric, for coming in. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm going to end this with, because I'm still hurting over the Ohio State game, I'm going to end this with this.